A group of small investors in a lithium mining firm are fighting a potential Chinese takeover. They say the takeover would give China stronger hold over global lithium supplies, and they want to use new national security laws to block it. NTD's Patrick Hayden has the details.
Small investors in a London-listed lithium miner are grouping together to fight a Chinese takeover. The group, 400 individual investors, holds 6% of mining firm Bacanora. Chinese lithium giant Ganfeng has a 17% stake and plans to increase it to 30%. The small investors are fighting the $270 million bid, saying it undervalues the AIM-listed company. AIM is an alternative investment market on the London Stock Exchange and is for smaller growing companies. Bacanora warned the small shareholders, saying the rules prohibit them from working together. It says Ganfeng's bid is attractive. The group of small investors joined forces through social media and WhatsApp, but they haven't formally named themselves. They've bombarded institutional investors and called on the UK government to block the deal. They say this could be done under the new National Security and Investment Bill. If the takeover goes ahead, they say it will strengthen China's grip on global lithium supplies. Patrick Hayden, NTD News, London.
A former Huawei director is on trial in Poland, charged with spying for China. NTD's foreign affairs correspondent Sharon Xu has the story.
A former director of Chinese tech giant Huawei is facing trial in Warsaw. Wang Weijing is accused of spying on Poland for the Chinese Communist Party for 7 years. The indictment said he had served at a Chinese consulate in northern Poland before working for Huawei. Huawei is known to have close ties to the Chinese regime and the military. Wang allegedly helped Huawei gain insight into Poland's state and local administration data systems and develop the ability to influence them. He is also facing a charge of recruiting a former Polish Secret Services agent to gain sensitive cybersecurity information. If convicted, the two men will face a minimum of 3 years in prison. Both have pleaded not guilty. Huawei sacked Wang immediately following his arrest in 2019. The company said that the man was acting on his own. The trial is expected to take several months, and there is no date set for the final verdict. Back to you, Stuart.
Several mothers whose children were killed by police are denouncing top members of Black Lives Matter. They say the group's leaders are getting rich off the deaths of their children and are doing nothing to help families who lost loved ones.
Samaria Rice's 12-year-old son Tamir was shot and killed by police in Cleveland. She's denouncing the leaders of Black Lives Matter, or BLM. She tells the New York Post they're benefiting off of the blood of our loved ones, and they won't even talk to us. BLM's co-founder Patricia Cullors is under fire for the apparent wealth she's recently gained, which many say is thanks to her role in BLM. Cullors described herself as a trained Marxist and has praised mass murderer Mao Zedong. Reports say she's on a multi-million-dollar buying spree focused on exclusive real estate. Cullors calls the reports a right-wing smear campaign. She says she didn't take the money from BLM. Cullors has a book deal and a TV deal with Warner Brothers. She's also announced leading her leadership role in BLM. Lisa Simpson's son was killed in a Los Angeles Police Department incident involving an officer. She accuses Cullors of stepping down to avoid responsibility. Simpson says BLM raised money for her son's funeral, but she never got it. The New York Post published a statement from Simpson and Palmer. They say BLM used the deaths of their children to get donations and movie deals, but left their families behind and broken. As violent crime spikes across the U.S., BLM's popularity is plummeting, and their calls to defund the police is now supported by just 18% of Americans.
A major international meat producer was the victim of a cyber attack on Sunday that paralyzed the company. The White House said the perpetrators are likely a criminal organization based in Russia. NTD's Kevin Hogan is stateside.
The world's largest meat supplier, JBS, has notified authorities of a cyber attack that affected its IT systems. Operations shut down in Australia and further stoppages are expected in North and South America. The company took immediate action and shut down the affected servers, and it said its backup servers were not affected. The firm is working to restore its systems. A White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, comments on the incident.
JBS notified the administration that the ransom demand came from a criminal organization likely based in Russia. The White House is engaging directly with the Russian government on this matter and delivering the message that responsible states do not harbor ransomware criminals.
The Biden administration and the Agriculture Department offered assistance after JBS notified the White House it was attacked.
USDA has reached out to several major meat processors in the United States to ensure they are aware of the situation. We're assessing any impacts on supply, and the president has directed the administration to determine what we can do to mitigate any impacts as they may become necessary.
The company says it's not yet aware of any evidence that data from its customers, employees, or suppliers has been compromised, but JBS said resolving the incident will take time and that may delay certain transactions from its customers and suppliers. The company temporarily let go of thousands of employees without pay. The CEO said the attack has halted feeding operations and prevented cattle from arriving at feedlots. Cyber attacks have become a big concern after the Russian-based Nobelium, thought to be behind the SolarWinds hack, launched a new campaign targeting over 150 government agencies and think tanks. What's more, a ransomware attack recently caused Colonial Pipeline to shut down its entire network. Jean-Pierre says the FBI is investigating the JBS cyber attack. Kevin Hogan, NTD News.
Staff at the birthplace of Lego in central Denmark unveiled the world's largest Lego football. It comes as Copenhagen prepares to host group stage matches in the European Championships.
At the Lego house in central Denmark, everyone from cleaners, designers, kitchen staff, play agents and the CEO pitched in to make this giant football. They used more than 170,000 Lego bricks, taking 150 hours to complete the task.
It's really great that we've been able to utilize our time during lockdown where we haven't been able to have any guests. Then we had this amazing building activity where we can really turn something into this giant football, and I'm really excited to see it happen.
The football weighs 2.5 tons and is over 4 meters high. It is composed of 75 modules in black and white, which is the classic football design. Lego CEO Jesper Vilstrup said the football was two major passions combined into one.
Well, I think if you take two major passions like football on the one hand and Lego bricks on the other hand, and then you combine that, and then you build something like this where you have the world's biggest football made out of Lego bricks. It's just two amazing things coming together.
Visitors will be able to see the display in the Lego Square until the Euro 2020 final on July 11th and take a look at the ball for free.
A video shows a drone flying into the lava spray of an erupting volcano in Iceland. Although the drone didn't make it back, this stunning footage did. Let's take a look.
A quick look at the shadowy landscape and we're off, soaring just feet above the fiery river flowing down the side of the Fagradalsfjall volcano in Iceland. After tens of thousands of earthquakes shook the landscape from late 2019 to early 2020, the volcano finally erupted on March 19th. It's been active ever since. This ill-fated drone is giving us a unique experience of what it's like to be up close to an active volcano. Way too close. The drone operator says it wasn't an easy flight.
Now, around the volcano where you have the hot gases emitted that cause turbulences all around it and hot rocks raining onto you, flying these things is even more tricky.
A tourist attraction, the local government considers Fagradalsfjall to be fairly harmless to the locals.
That's the news for today, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Stuart Lees.